All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining our LiveFULLy call tonight. I am ecstatic about tonight's call because for the first time, well, I think maybe one time before, we had a couple of people dial in from Australia and maybe one from Canada, but this is our first true international LiveFULLy Zoom call, and so I'm super excited about it. Just to give a little bit of background for anybody that's dialing in across the world, LiveFULLy got started, I don't know, maybe 6 or 9 months ago, just to try to raise awareness and provide support for people that are dealing specifically with issues of severe obesity, as well as people who have undergone bariatric surgery of some type or maybe are considering that. And so as a person who's gone through gastric bypass surgery, lost 100 pounds within about 2 or 3 years, gained half of it back, and then found Isagenix, was able to lose the rest of that weight. And it's been about 1.5 years now that I've kept it all off and left my corporate America job in Chicago and moved to North Carolina for some more peace and quiet and Isagenix living. So Isagenix has absolutely changed my life. Yay. And so what started to happen is, just lots of calls and connections with other people who are battling severe obesity, and having spent most of my adult life, well over 200 pounds, being a college athlete and not knowing how in the world to get this weight off. I thought that surgery was the only option. And I was able to meet David Stark on this call at a Follow Your Bliss retreat, and sat by him at lunch. And we started chatting about our journeys and how he decided not to have weight loss surgery and lost 108 pounds and has had some issues with gaining the weight back. I know, yay, we got to celebrate people as we bring them up. And so, I said, well, I had the surgery, he didn't. And we had this conversation about, we really need a forum for people to be able to come together and talk about what these issues are that are, it's different when you get a 30-day system or a value pack in the mail and you can't drink a whole shake, after you've had stomach surgery, bariatric surgery, or, there's just emotional differences, I think, when you've spent a lot of your life severely overweight. And so that's really what we're about. And we try to have different guests on our LiveFULLy Zooms to share their stories and their journeys. And there are a lot of people in LiveFULLy that are not currently using Isagenix, but we're just going to talk about it no matter what, because I know that most of the people that do participate in this group have just life-changing stories involving Isagenix and what it's done to completely change their health and financial freedom and time freedom and all the things that we all know and love. So with that, I just got back a few days ago from Puerto Vallarta in Mexico, seeing my lovely ladies, Kim and Talina, who are on this call. And I was in the kitchen, Talina and I were hanging out, and I was in the kitchen and we were talking about LiveFULLy. And I said, what can we do? I'm just kind of brainstorming, like, what can we do to really raise awareness and visibility about global obesity? Like, how can we really make an impact on the world with this amazing company, amazing products that we know work every time, that are changing people's lives? And out of the blue, she's like, my dad's in the 100-pound club. And I'm like, what? So that we got this whole conversation started, and I was like, oh my God, would he be willing to come on? And thank goodness Leon To'o is here with us and willing to guest tonight. And so, like, my thanks and gratitude to Talina for offering up her dad for this call, because I'm like, that's perfect. I'm like, we're totally across the world. And so I just want to learn more about what's happening in Australia, as far as the 100-pound club, as far as, support groups that you guys have that you participate in, and especially about your personal journey. I posted in the Facebook group in LiveFULLy that his story is actually on IsaFYI at anz.isafyi. If you haven't read it, you're going to hear it tonight. But if you want to forward it on, make sure that you guys go check that out, because the story's there. So I want to hear from Leon without further ado, and we're going to hear from Talina, his daughter. It's a family affair with Isagenix, because Michelle, his fiance, is also on, who's an Isa lover. So Leon, I want to turn it over to you and just ask you to just kind of share with us how you were introduced to Isagenix and what was happening in your life, before you found it, and how it's changed your life.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Hi, everyone from Sydney, Australia. It's freezing here. Probably not freezing for you guys, but yeah, before Isagenix, well, being Polynesian, being overweight is just another thing. It doesn't bother you. And Talina, my daughter's always been on my back, need to lose weight. But being a typical father, you don't listen to your kids because they blah blah too much. And my little niece one day was watching a documentary on obesity, and it hit her hard, and she came and saw me, and with tears in her eyes, she just said to me, "Uncle, you know I love you. I don't want you to die." And just hearing those words just really impacted me so deep that I decided that then and there that things had to change. And so Talina was overseas in Mexico, and there was products home. I thought, oh, I'm going to give this a go. It's for free. So I started on Isagenix, and noticed straight away that I wasn't as hungry being on the shakes for some reason. I thought it was some, I didn't know what it was. And then when she came back, she got me on the product, and life has been amazing ever since then. I've gone from 168 kilos down to 113, 114 kilo. It's winter now, so it probably goes up a bit more. I was 7XL in my shirts, and gone down to XXL shirts. So, life is great. You're able to just do things. I went to Mexico last year, and Talina introduced me to these really high hills. If I was overweight, I'd never gone up those hills. And yeah, life's just good being around with my kids again, being able to play with them, being able to just do things that we used to do when they were very small. And just owe a lot of gratitude to for Isagenix and the way that it is. In regards to our support groups here, we have a lot of Polynesians like myself who are all big, and it's good because within our groups, we just, whenever anyone's down, they just put the question out there, or put their express their concerns online, and we just all get on there and we just help them out. What can I say? Just everything is really great, and just because I'm on the product, I love sharing it. And just recently I got my little niece, or got my other niece onto Isagenix. She's also 160 kilos, and she's around about 30 something in age, and she's released 10, 12 kilos on her first month. So she's really excited because her why is her family, and it's the same with me. So everything is really exciting within our family right now, because if she has a really good result, I'm sure the rest of the family will follow. And that's what it's all about, all family affair. Thanks, guys.
I love it. We're like so not done with you, so don't even act like that was it. I told him
ding, isn't it a ding?
Exactly. When we were practicing earlier before the call, I told him that I was going to ask him some questions and he wanted to know what they were ahead of time. And I was like, no way, because that's totally like going to give it away. We have to catch you off guard. But Talina, if you don't mind, you know, you've witnessed this whole transformation and obviously, you know, growing up with him, like what is your story about his story? I mean, like, how is it coming from your perspective as his daughter, you know, just being concerned about his health?
My story is a little different to Dad's. He wasn't that easy to jump on the products. He convinced himself that shakes weren't going to save his life. That, you know, I guess after my cousin had called him, he did, you know, start to consider it seriously. So we got him on the Pres pack. But, I mean, for me, just to have Dad back, Dad's always been my best friend. And, you know, if he wanted to go camping, we'd go camping, fishing, I'd go fishing. My brothers, I have 2 brothers. They wouldn't be the kid that would go with Dad. I would be the one. And for a long time, well, since my teenage years, you know, Dad wasn't the same guy. So to have him back purely from a means of using Isagenix to be that segue to get him back, it means the world. And to have him here in Mexico and actually keeping up with me, that was like the hallmark moment for me, you know, because like you said, the hills, for those of you who don't know me, I love hills and I love stairs. Chris knows now, and I love it. And, you know, just to have him do it. He hated me for it, but he did it. And the same with Chris, you know, she's like, I'm never doing that again. I'm like, but did you die? You know, so, the whole lifestyle, the better appreciation for food, the better awareness, the more consciousness about what he's eating. And, you know, like Dan mentioned, coming from a Polynesian background, it's really food that brings us together. But now as a family, we're able to still be around food and have food bring us together, but it's different types of food and it's different ways of eating it. So for that, I'm also incredibly grateful. And yeah, I mean, Isagenix is not just a bunch of products, you know, it's the culture, it's the community. And, I really buy into that. I introduced Dad to his now fiance, not any intention, but, you know, it was at a launch party. He's like, oh, Dad, this is Michelle. I'm like, oh, hi, you know. And next minute, they escalate and now they're getting married in November. So there is definitely self-love to be explored. And as Dad and Michelle are a testament to a relationship that has been born and will continue for a long time. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. I know, Michelle, are you in a position where you can chime in? I know she was busy with some other stuff in the background. All right. Well, if you get to the point where you can chat, Michelle, let us know. But I mean, congrats to both of you guys. That's so exciting that it's such an ISA family affair. You know what, though, on that same note, Alvi actually just connected me with Mark Ostrowski, who's going to be co-hosting the 100-pound segment, yay, at the at Celebration this year, which is like I was like, what an amazing opportunity. And Kristen Landry that we have on the phone, our regional adorable rep from corporate. When I was talking with Mark, it was the same story about like your kids, that when you have a situation where your kids, come to you and are concerned about saying, like, Dad, you gotta get healthy. I think that is just so impactful. And, Morgan on this guy, it's like there's so many people that have the same story, that Morgan is like just inching her way. Like, you're so close to the 100-pound club. And how many years, have you been on Isagenix? And it's like that switch, once it's flipped, and whether it's, your kids, that comes to you and says, Mom, Dad, like, I'm worried about you. I think it's just this whole other level of responsibility, for your health. And I just, I want to open it up to Alvi, to Kristen, to Leon, to Morgan. I mean, there's so many people on this call that can relate to, like your why, being there for your kids and being able to be a healthy parent that can do the 10,000 stairs that Selena makes you do when you go to Mexico. But she told me there were 300, but I was like, there's seriously, like, there have to be 3,000. Like, we hiked to the top of the world. But I don't know, like, if any of you have kind of something to share about that, because it seems to be a really common story.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So hello, everybody. Good to see y'all and all across the world. That's pretty cool. So, as you know, I was honored as the 2016 Ice Body Grand Prize winner in the North America. Very huge honor. It's been a quick year. It's been really fast. But I lost 85 pounds total. And 45 of it was with Isagenix. My first 40 was on my own. There's that call I was telling you about. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had some health problems. As a lot of you already know, I'm an open book. I put it out there because I want to inspire people to see that they can get away from that lifestyle that was not serving them, and they can be a better version of themselves. I had the drugs and alcohol addictions that were really holding me back, and a lot of mental warfare I was going on with them, which I'm sure all of us have had a little bit of that, or a lot of it, and the doubts, the self-doubt and self-worth that I wasn't good enough anymore to be my best. And so I had the health problems. I had a brain aneurysm, and that was my turning point. There's a lot of prayer that was going on. Every day I prayed for help, because I was really just stuck. I as much as I wanted to get away from what I was doing, it was just it was gripped, and I was stuck in that mode. So having that aneurysm was a huge a blessing. It really was. And so but that's when my mentality, my mindset took the switch. I promised, what I did personally was I promised the Lord, if he saved me, that I would never go back. And that was really a strong thing for me, because, I was on the edge of death. I mean, I thought I was going to die. And so as I'm having that aneurysm, I'm literally saying, please, Lord, let me live. I will never go back. And I said, I promised him that. And so for me, people have asked me, do you have you been in AA, or do you go in any program? And I said, you know what? No, I haven't. Nothing against the programs, but I tell them, I promise the Lord, I'm not going back. And for me, that was huge. And so that was where my mindset shifted. I said, you know what? I'm getting back to where I was when I was wearing that jersey right there, and better. Because, even when I was wearing that jersey right there, I wasn't the healthiest guy. I was in great shape, but I was drinking still. I was eating whatever I wanted. I definitely didn't have an 8-pack or any pack for that matter. And so when I made my mind up that I was going to change my ways, I was 85 pounds overweight. I was 307 pounds. I am 6'7", so that, I carried it well, I guess you can say, but I was still overweight. And so when I went, my point is that I made that mindset switch that I was going to be my best. I was going to do what it took to get myself back, and absolutely nothing was going to get in my way. Were there challenges? Of course. We all know that. We all know that there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be that great dessert that you always eat. There's always going to be that pizza that you always wanted. There's always going to be that beef sandwich and fries that I eat almost every other day. All that stuff was right there in my view at all the stores I would pass by on the streets when I was driving, but I had made up my mind. And that's a strong thing. You really have to make your mind up to get to that point, which a lot of you obviously have. We're 100-pound club guys here and women, so we know that we have it in us. But, you know, and so that being said, you know, I'm sure all of us are still on our journey. Our journey's never over. All right, so we have to make sure we continue on our journey. Do not go back. Do not show weakness. You're going to have moments where maybe you have some of those things that you used to have, but don't let it be something that holds you back and has you going backwards. Because in my opinion, all of us are, our calling is to help inspire others now. I mean, a lot of people are looking up to us. Okay, a lot of people that have seen you lose 100 pounds or more. A lot of people have seen you turn your lives around, whether it was from food addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction. They've seen you do all these things, and they are looking up to you. That's a responsibility. And that's what I felt when I won the Ice Body Challenge. In my mind, I will never go back because I promised, but also because there's a lot of people who are looking up to me to be my best so that I can help them to feel good about, you know, them going for their best. And so I just really feel that all of us here have a huge obligation to not only ourselves and our families and our children, because again, we talked about the children. I have 2 little ones now. I have a 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old boy who's like a little monkey. He's all over the place. And I have a daughter that's 1, you know, and she just started walking. You know, before I started Isagenix, I had no kids. Okay, I was no kids. And I was very, I didn't think I'd ever be a father because I was in that rut of my life that I didn't think I would ever be a good enough person to be a father or even a husband for that matter. And then when it all changed, my life got healthier. I started adding Isagenix into my life full time. And then next thing you know, I have 2 kids, a wife. I'm still working on things. I don't have it figured out, but I know I'm on the right path. And I know it's because of being around people like yourselves and surrounding myself with people like you, because that's what's going to help keep me on track and help keep me motivated to be my best. So I think just everyone on here, just make sure that you take that responsibility to not only be your best for your family and your children, or future children, but for the people that are looking up to you, because there are a lot of them. So that's what I have for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Albie. We're so blessed to have you as our Isabody champion. And we've got so many people too, like for this year, you know, that we're rooting for. I mean, it's just, it's like, oh my gosh, you know.
It went by fast. It went by really fast. It did. I mean, I was traveling all over the world. It was fun. I had great time, you know, speaking in all the countries, Canada and all the states. The next person is going to do amazing. All 15 finalists are amazing. So it's going to be great and see who's going to take it home.
I love it. When I think of you, I always see that picture in my mind of you, like, you know, pointing. I love it. I love it. I'm like, that's Albie. Love it. Kristen, thank you so much for jumping on the call. You guys corporate, we just have the best corporate team ever in the whole wide world. And coming from corporate America and having not the best corporate team ever, I mean, it's just amazing how you guys respond. When LiveFULLy was just getting started, I actually reached out to see, you know, what information is already out there. Are there articles? Are there, you know, is there, I don't want to go reinvent the wheel. And if there's already something going on, like, you know, can we be a part of that? Because I just kept getting so many calls and, you know, people wanting to connect, saying, hey, I heard you had surgery. I know you have this story. My sister, my cousin, my friend, you know, like, can they call you? And it was just like, man, you know, there's got to be a group where we can bring massive amounts of people together instead of just this, you know, one-on-one, right? Like, it's not duplicatable. How do we do that? And so I wrote corporate, and within a matter of months, there was an article that you guys, you know, published and wrote about people who have had bariatric surgery or are considering it, and how Isagenix can still be incorporated, you know, into your diet. And obviously, you know, with a doctor, you know, supervising, but having gone through that myself, you know, that was just gigantic for me, that it was just like, wow, that was easy. You know, like, you're used to political red tape in corporate America. It takes so much to get things done. But I would just love for you to share, you know, what are you seeing when it comes to, you know, the 100-pound club and Isagenix, you know, like, as we continue to grow with massive numbers of people every single year. Obviously, the statistics, you know, continue to go up and up and up of people that are severely obese and battling, you know, with these issues. Like, what's happening on the corporate side of things, what are you seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I can't speak that much about the 100-pound club because I don't work in that division, but I always see the emails coming through, and there's so many more people achieving those goals and passing, the 100-pound mark. So I see it within the teams that I represent within Mid-Atlantic too, and it's just a community of everyone banding together and really, making them feel, I guess, more empowered to get to that marker, which I love to see. We've definitely have a few 100-pound club members that have achieved their goal and they keep going. So I'm really proud that they're going to actually be walking on the stage within celebration. And I think right there, that's a huge achievement to be recognized for. You guys put in your sweat, tears, and hard work, hiking those stairs, like Kim said. I try and avoid as many stairs as possible, but I know it's good for you. But other than that, corporate, we're just here. We're here to, help you guys achieve anything that you guys want to achieve. Like Alvy said, you're here to transform your lives. You're here to transform other people. And we know that the statistics out there that obesity is a number one, killer. So just trying to make that and be more aware and conscious of that and just highlighting it throughout our Isagenix journey, that comes from you guys. We stand and behind you guys and support you and give you those corporate studies, scientific things out there, but it's really, you guys are the marketing, you guys are the billboards, you guys are the ones that are testifying for Isagenix. So we have to say thank you to you guys first because you're the ones living it and doing it. So it's much props to you guys.
Well, we appreciate everything that corporate does to support us for sure. And just having you participate in the call, knowing that we're here and we're trying to wrap
Absolutely.
up is amazing. It makes me think about how important mindset is on this whole journey of weight loss. And when David and I, kind of in the beginning talked about, let's start something. Let's create a Facebook group. We were like, it's got to be 50-50, 50% about nutrition and what's out there to help you as far as food to put in your body, that we all know it works. But 50% has to be about how do you change your mindset and go about changing those habits and self-love. The very first LiveFULLy call, we highlighted Brene Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection, that's all about, self-love and belonging and compassion, and how important that is because we deserve, our bodies don't define who we are, and just kind of getting over that identity issue. I mean, I know when I lost 100 pounds, I was treated differently. I bought different clothes. I was like, who is this person? And for me to really get back to my true identity of the spirit inside of the body, it was a journey. It was a process, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Casey Pluff, who Morgan's sister. If it wasn't for her, I don't know where my life would be. I was in AA at the time, had gained 50 pounds back of the 100 I lost. I mean, my life was an absolute train wreck. And, if it wasn't for her, posting on Facebook about her, not just her health journey, but, her financial journey and how it's freed her up, this lifestyle. But the mindset, she's so amazing as far as a mentor and a leader on the Have It All team, just in pushing that. You've got to change your mindset, and the personal development that goes along with it is I will never leave this company because of what it's brought to my life. And Leon, I would love to know, with your journey, and I know that you've got, a team of kind of friends and other supporters there with you. What have you done to really kind of work on mindset? I mean, you talk in kilos, but 105 pounds, and that was in the article that was published in 2016. So I don't know if it's even gone beyond, the 105 pounds, however many more kilos that is. But I mean, as far as changing your habits, your day to day, like what have you done and what have the people around you done to help you make that change?
Well, I guess for me, it's just, for starters, it's all about myself, what I can do for myself. That's what I realized after losing the weight. I was worried about what other people thought. I was worried about, what people were saying, but now I just don't give a damn. And I just think about myself. Like, I still got a lot of people here that say, oh, Con, you can still lose more. But to me, I'm just happy as I am now. Maybe when I get married, I'll go down another 20 Ks. I don't know. But, it's all about just being happy within yourself. Yeah, I don't eat Macca's anymore. I don't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore. Hungry Jacks, pizzas. Oh, maybe one or two. But, yeah, it's just eating habits have changed. I used to drink like 8 liters of Coke a day, but now I have just water or Replenish. So, it's a big change. Just little changes is what I think that really helps you as you, try to lose weight and whatever. But, it's just, going back to your why. And that's what helps me a lot. Just the image of my little niece coming to me, her face was priceless, and it's embedded in my brain. So every time I think I want to cheat a little bit more, or that face comes into my mind, and it just scares the crap out of me. So it's just whatever works for you, and it's, to me, I'm really all about family. And when I look at family, families are forever to me. And right now, I just want to be the best father, the best uncle, the best, the best family member ever. And just seeing some of my family come onto the product and seeing them change as well, and change their eating habits and whatever, just really, makes me very, very happy. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I just want to pause and see if anybody has any questions for Leon, and since he's getting ready to start his day as we're winding ours down.
Hey, Chris, I just wanted to just let you guys know about the why. I mean, Leon, you really pointed out that why, and that's the big thing for me. My journey started, for me, I was 403 pounds, and I had 2 little girls, and my brother told me this story. He said, imagine yourself in a grave. And imagine your little girls burying you, Dave. Who's going to raise your girls? That scared the crap out of me. And I tried and I tried. I lost 30 pounds on my own in 8 months for my brother's wedding. And that wasn't going to cut it. My brother Tim had asked me to lose 100 pounds because he was embarrassed of me. And, when you have that, and I apologize for the noise, but when you have that kind of why, it changes your whole life. And Isagenix came in at the right time. I went to my brother's wedding. I was 30 pounds lighter, and I had ordered up Isagenix, and I told my oldest brother that, hey, man, get ready, because the new Dave is coming, and I'm asking, my friends and neighbors and brothers to join me. And I told my brother, I said, I'm doing this. And because I got 2 little girls that I want to walk down the aisle. And as a dad, that's my dream, is to walk my girls down the aisle. So Leon, being the best dad that I can be, that's my why. But I also know that being being the father and the husband that I am, I need to be a better husband. And I know at 403 pounds, that wasn't going to cut it. And this Isagenix culture saved my life. And it's changed me forever. And like Chris, like Albie, I'm never turning back. I go through my ruts. I go through those moments. But I have this culture that pulls me right back out. And I've personally developed myself more than any part of my life. And that's what this journey is really about. It's about developing ourselves with nutrition, with this culture, and then sharing that. And just a little bit more, before I started this program, I had asked my cousin, who was 450 pounds, and I said, would you join me on this journey? And he was checking out surgery. And I said, why don't you check this out first? Because I checked out surgery and I didn't want surgery because I knew the complications with surgery and I knew that I wasn't going to want to participate. And it was going to be challenging for me because I travel and all that. So I invited him over and I showed him the products and he said, if this works for you, I think I'll give it a shot. And I had lost relatively quickly 20, 30 pounds. And he said, you know what? I want the easy way. And he chose surgery. And surgery isn't the easy way. It's a way, but no way is easy. And so I went natural. He went surgery. And, this is where we're at. And when Chris and I met at Bliss, I told her this story. And this is kind of why we're here. We're here to share our stories so that we can connect with more and more because we've just begun. This company is new and young, and there's only 600,000 people, right? There's 7.3 billion people in this world. So there's a whole lot of people out there that need to have this system in their bodies and change their lives. And this is going to help us to change the world. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
You bet.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, that seriously is what it's all about. I mean, this whole group is just about connecting. We can get together and have Zooms with each other every other week, but the goal is, like I said, when Talina and I were, in the kitchen, it's like, but how do we get it out there? How do we make this bigger? How do we, reach more people? Because, you guys talk about like it not just changing your life, like saving your life. And I've heard that 3 different times today from 3 different people. Like Isagenix has saved my life. And, same here. It's like when you've spent, most of your adult life being severely overweight, not knowing what to do, having the most invasive surgery possible because you're so desperate. And then to find this company, it's like I always tell people about Isagenix. I'm like, the weight loss is just like this cool extra bonus. Like it's going to change your life, like your life. But in the meantime, you're going to get this side bonus of getting healthy. So I'm super grateful, for Isagenix and everything that it's done for me. And I'm so grateful to you, Leon, for giving up your morning. I know you're getting ready to get the day started there in Sydney, but I think it's so great to be able to connect. It kind of shows how small the world really is, that I can be in Mexico with someone from Sydney whose dad is in Isagenix, and like the web that gets woven, that God just kind of puts people together and lines everything right up, and so that's just what we're trying to do. So I would just ask that, as everybody leaves the call, to just keep LiveFULLy in mind. Mark Ostrowski has agreed and excitedly agreed to guest and host probably our next call, which we're going to try to have before celebration. So just to pump people up. I think, Kristen, you might know, I think he said it was day 2, or Albie, day 2 is when the 100-pound segment is going to be, which is always my fave. It's like, here come the tears, but because of what, I cannot imagine. You guys should just say what it feels like to walk across that stage. Leon, what was that like when you walked across the stage? Were you holding the shirt or pants, or what were you holding when you walked across?
Oh, in Australia, we don't hold our things when we walk across.
Okay.
Last year we did, but that's when I proposed to my fiancée, and I had "Will you marry me" on my 7XL shirt.
You can't top
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we're really looking forward to celebration. So hopefully everybody that's going will look out for day 2 with Mark, and we'll get to meet him if you're on the LiveFULLy call before celebration. And just shout out to Caitlin Doused at corporate, and that thanks Kristen for hooking me up with her, and also Jillian and Jennifer that are going to be involved too at celebration with the 100-pound club and Isabody. It's just such an amazing thing to have that as a goal, for people, that it's not 10 pounds, it's not 20 pounds, it's 100, 200, 300. The fact that there is 100-pound club is just, it's incredible. And Morgan, I wanted to give you a second, and then I saw your video go off. I'm like, don't go, because you're reaching for it. And I just wanted to see if you had anything to share, before we hang up, about just having that as a goal.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. There might be some baseballs and some other stuff going on in the background, so that's why I haven't really chimed in yet. But when Casey introduced me to the products, I wanted zero to do with them. I had tried every program out there to lose weight and gain everything back plus more. The last program I did had me so unhealthy. I literally tore a ligament in my ankle, ended up in a surgery, and turned to pain pills and food, and I ballooned all the way up to 286 pounds, and started Isagenix and did really well at first, like I normally do, but I had not worked on my mindset at all. And I was just doing the products, and I was starting to lose, but again, wasn't working on my mindset. And what I've really learned now, because about this year in March is kind of when it all clicked, and there was some things going on in my personal life, and like y'all have spoken about, my son came to me and told me that somebody last year in school had called me fat, and that he did not want to tell me about it because he didn't want to hurt my feelings. So here's this 11-year-old little boy, or 10 at the time, holding something in like that because he didn't want to hurt his mom, and I'm supposed to be there for him. So that moment is when it kind of clicked for me in March, and I was just like, I'm sitting on these products. I see all these other people doing it, and I'd been plugging into events and calls and starting to work on my mindset. It just all hadn't come together. And that little moment there that I had with him that night, the next day, I just kind of got up and I was just like, if I'm healthy, what am I doing? Well, I'm walking, I'm doing 2 shakes a day. And that's just how it started. And, I actually weighed today, and I'm 71.4 pounds down. So I am inching my way in, like you said, so 28 point something pounds away. So I will be there. And it's just amazing what's happened now that the mindset has kind of shifted along with the products, and taking the vitamins and the ionics, and my cravings have gone away just because my body is getting all the nutrients that it needs. And just being able to be out here on the baseball field today and walk around, do my son, and also this Zoom, it's just like I never would have been able to do that before. I would always have call my his grandparents or whoever, please take him to this, please take him to that, and I couldn't do anything with him at all, barely go outside with him. So it's just a lot has changed for me. And I just plugging into this LiveFULLy and hearing everybody's story tonight, I definitely relate to everyone. And this is what it's all about, is continuing to plug in and working on ourselves and having the best products that actually make you feel good while you're losing, so you can do it in a healthy way. And it's actually a lifestyle that is sustainable for the lifetime. And it's not this quick fix or the diet pills that I was doing, or the HCG shots, or the counting points and all the crazy things that I've done in the past. So just really grateful for you, Chris, and this team and corporate, Albie, everybody. I really appreciate everybody. And I'll see y'all on stage next year.
Hells yeah. All right. Did anybody else have anything to add? Amanda is one of our top income earners. It just got announced. That's what I'm talking about. Hi. She's like, hi. Okay. Anybody else? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for dialing in. Leon, thank you for dialing in across the world. We are here for you and appreciate that you're here for us. And I just hope that you will, continue to connect people in. We're going to get on a more regular call schedule, because we were rolling there for a while every other Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then we started running into some conflicts with some of the corporate calls. And so we were moving it around and then on hiatus for a bit. So we're going to get back on track. But you guys look for that call before celebration with Mark, because he's really going to plug us into what's happening, for celebration and with the 100-pound club. And oh no, I think that's all I have for today. But I just am so excited that I work with a company that is global, that is changing lives like on a massive, massive scale. I get, emails all the time from LinkedIn and people wanting me to come back to corporate America, and it's like not in a million years. So I'm so grateful. And Kristen, you're amazing. Thank you for dialing in and supporting us, our team, and LiveFULLy. And thank you to everybody for dialing in. So if there's nothing else, we'll sign off. And Leon, have an amazing morning. And everybody else have a great evening.
All right. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Chris.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we can.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll see if I can